It's time for the Lovable Me Show. Based on the award-winning book series, I Am a Lovable Me. Get ready to have some fun learning with Lovable, our resident enlightening bug. Are you ready? Close your eyes and let's count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now open them. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Lovable Me Show. I'm Sharon Penchina, your host and author of the award-winning I Am a Lovable Me books for children. Today, I'm going to teach you a simple exercise that you can use to manifest your goals. After you've practiced it a few times, you can use it with your kiddos as a powerful tool to help them actualize their goals and their desires as well. I'll guide you through this simple exercise so that you can experience it firsthand before you teach it to your children. You'll discover how to make a deeper impression on your subconscious mind when you use all of your senses. This will help you program your powerful mind to create a new positive habit that automatically supports you in reaching your desired goals. But before we do this exercise, let's review the various senses that you use day to day and how they're applied when it comes to learning. You can then use this information to identify the senses that are most dominant in your child, as this will enable you to enlist and cater to your child's primary senses when you teach them new things. And it also allows them to absorb information and learn with greater ease, and we all want that for them. So here are the primary sensory learning modes that your child may display. Be on the lookout, as they may tend to have more than one, so keep that in mind as I go over them with you. Visual learning. Visual learners enjoy learning that is image heavy and light on text. If your child is a visual learner, they prefer to see information in order to remember it. They form images of the words or concepts when they encounter them, and they tend to remember people's faces but forget their names upon first meeting them. They also enjoy art, aesthetics, and other visual forms of expression. Next, we have auditory learners. Auditory learners learn best through sounds, music, and conversation, as well as group discussions and lectures. If you want to determine if your child is an auditory learner, notice if they like to use rhymes or tunes to help them memorize information, and if they read out loud to help them absorb information. They're also good at following verbal instructions and have an ear for languages and music. Now there's kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learning is all about physical sensation. They'll be using their body, their hands, and a sense of touch to absorb information. Learning is easier by doing instead of thinking or talking about a subject or a concept. Kids that are kinesthetic learners prefer to learn through hands-on activity. They may have some trouble concentrating during lectures, but they're good at cooking, mechanics, sports, woodworking, basically anything that requires the use of their hands. Next up is reading, writing, learning mode. Children who learn best through reading and writing rely on words to absorb their information. To determine if your child is a reading, writing learner, they remember things best by reading them and relying on note-taking to stay focused. You'll also find them reading and writing in their spare time. Now, here are two other senses that I just want to briefly mention for now. One is olfactory, or it's better known as a sense of smell. And the last one is the sense of taste. So kind of keep those in the back of your mind as well when we go through this exercise. The sensing organs associated with each of the senses that I've just mentioned to you send information to the brain to help us understand and perceive the world around us. So how can we bring these senses into play when we want to teach our children to accomplish a goal or manifest their desires? Well, that brings me to today's topic, a simple exercise to manifest your goal. That's what we're here for. This exercise is something you can do together with your child as a great way to bond with them, and also a way to model self-empowerment. Now, let's get started with the exercise. To get the full effect, I really want you to play along with me today. First, go ahead and decide what it is that you'd like to manifest or create as a goal for yourself. Next, sit in a comfortable, upright position with your feet planted on the ground. Rest your hands in your lap, or you can go ahead and lie down somewhere and get really comfortable. Once you make yourself comfortable, close your eyes if you're not engaged in any other activity that prohibits it. Closing your eyes allows you to sharpen your focus. Next, I want you to start to notice your breathing, and there's no need to breathe in any particular way. Simply notice your in-breath and your out-breath, and maybe even the space that's in between. Use your imagination and think about each one of your senses, one at a time, as I mention them to you. And as you think about each one, notice if you can activate that particular sensory mode in relationship to the goal that you have in mind. Some of them may be more acute than others, but go ahead and give them all a try. Now let's start with hearing. First, begin to notice all the sounds around you. Some of the sounds might even be coming from your breathing or digestion or out in the distance. You might hear people talking or cars driving by. And then I want you to go ahead and apply your hearing and thinking about your goal. Imagine that your goal has already been actualized, and notice if there are any sounds associated with it. Now, here's an example of applying sound to a goal. If you wanted to manifest more confidence when it comes to public speaking, you might imagine the sound of a large audience clapping after they hear you speak. Next, let's try smelling. Shift your focus to noticing any smells in your environment. Maybe you smell food or perfume in the air. You might even notice the smell of flowers or trees or plants if you're outside. Can you smell anything in relationship to your goal? If you wanted to create a less stressful lifestyle for yourself, you might notice that the smell of pine trees or the ocean air is filling your nostrils as you imagined yourself on a beach, perhaps, having created a life that allowed you to relax with more time off. Next up, use your visual sense. And if you have your eyes closed, there's no need to open your eyes to see in this context. Using your imagination and your inner sight, go ahead and think about your goal. See yourself as having accomplished it, and notice what it looks like when you see your goal manifested. Notice how you look. Maybe you even see yourself smiling in an environment with other people who are supporting you in your goal. And notice your surroundings. Use as much visual imagery to create a blueprint in your mind so that you can create exactly what you want. Next, I want you to think about taste. Go ahead and notice your tongue in your mouth. your saliva, and your breath as you exhale. Imagine that the goal that you want to manifest has a taste associated with it. See if you can notice if there are any tastes involved. An example of that might be if you wanted to create a slimmer, healthier body, you might want to imagine that the foods that are problematic to you now taste bitter and unpleasant. Or you might imagine that the healthy foods that support your weight loss taste so delicious and make your mouth water. Next, touch. It's the last one. Bring your attention to your body and the contact that you have with the chair you're sitting on or the bed you're lying on, the clothing on you, or your feet on the floor and the surface beneath you, and get in tune with touch. How does it feel when you relax? How does it feel when you're thinking about your goal and noticing that's already been actualized or manifested? Noticing if you get a feeling that comes over you when you've already accomplished that goal. What does it feel like? Is it a feeling of inner strength? Do you have feelings of love, of passion, of confidence, or excitement? Allow yourself to conjure up the feelings associated with your goal. And now you can open your eyes. Now that I've walked you through this simple exercise, was one or more of your senses easier for you to access? Were any of them heightened during this exercise? When you practice using your imagination and enlist your senses, and then you repeat that exercise over and over again each day, you're actually training your mind to work for you. The signals you send to your brain help in the creation or manifestation of your desired goal. To find out more about the science behind this exercise, you could do a little research on neuroscience, and I know that you'll discover just how powerful this activity can be for you. Now, fine-tune the exercise when you use it by using your imagination and your senses to really deepen the experience and play with it, have fun with it when it comes to doing it with your kiddos. Always be mindful when helping your child discover what they'd like to manifest, to be sure to teach them that when it comes from the heart and provides them with greater support for living a happier and healthier life, they can't go wrong. Now, I hope this exercise was helpful for you and that you'll try it out and have fun with it with your kiddos. And please be sure that you also check out all the I Am a Lovable Me books today by clicking on the link at the very end of this video. They're available in hardcover as well as audio iBooks. Also, you'll never miss any of our great shows by watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have a topic that you think parents and caregivers want to hear about and would like to be a guest on my show, don't hesitate to message me on Facebook. I'm your host, Sharon Penchina, and I'll be back next week with some more great self-empowerment tips for you. Thank you all for joining in, and be sure to have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Thank you for watching The Lovable Me Show. Also, if you have any questions for Lovable, go ahead and ask away. Don't forget to visit us next week, right here in the Facebook bug.